Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Ryan in Singapore. Welcome to our mindfulness practice. Today's topic is gratitude. It's Thursday right now, the last Thursday in November. So in the United States, that means it's Thanksgiving, which is kind of funny because it's not even Thursday yet right now in the United States. But I always celebrate Thanksgiving, even though I'm here in Singapore, and it's kind of funny, in fact, that Thanksgiving is a kind of a uniquely American holiday in a way that, I mean, and not that it doesn't exist in any other countries, but I find that it's a bit of a novelty. It was when I lived in Hong Kong too, that some people, especially those who aren't American, kind of want to come together and celebrate this holiday with us. And I thought that was really special. It's nice to have some interest in my culture and to see it from other people's perspective. But anyway, this year I'm going to be having Americans that have been away from the United States will be coming over to my place on Saturday, since today's not a holiday here in Singapore. So we'll use that as kind of our Thanksgiving dinner time. And, what's one of the things that's common in Thanksgiving dinner, at least, I guess if you're American, you likely have some kind of Thanksgiving traditions or rituals. And one of them is to give thanks for things in your life that you're thankful for. We go around the table and go, I'm thankful for whatever. And that's a way for us to exercise gratitude. And gratitude's powerful in your mental health toolkit. To know that gratitude is something that you can do to intentionally, cognitively shift your awareness and attention to things that are going right. Because it's common for us to look at the things that have gone wrong. So, that's human nature, right? The analogy that I always like to use is like the rustling bush. You hear the bush rustling over there, or our ancestors heard the bush rustling, and so you go, well, what's in there? Is it a rabbit or is it a tiger? And so if we think that it's a tiger, but it's actually a rabbit, and we run away, we run away in fear, like, oh my gosh, we're going to be eaten by a tiger, and it's actually a rabbit, then, well, no harm done. We still end up leaving with our lives, and our fear has our fear has existed, but it wasn't for that purpose, to save our lives. However, if the contrary is true, or the opposite of that, as we think, we hear the rustling bush, and we think that it's a rabbit, but instead it's a tiger, and we stay there. We get attacked and perhaps killed by the tiger, and no chance to pass on our genetic material to our descendants, right? And so this is the purpose of fear, and this is also the purpose of seeing things more negatively, the origin of our negativity bias. So for us to see things in a negative way is completely natural, and it's inside of our hardware to err on the side of caution and to see things in this negative way and to have this negativity bias. And so, it's good for protection. It's good for our instincts of our ancestors. But these days, maybe not as useful. And in fact, that negativity bias can cause us to go down this loop of anxiety. We just feel scared all the time. And truly, there's nothing that's, in most cases, affecting or potentially harmful for our lives. And so that's really what gratitude's for these days, is to kind of shift from that negative way of thinking, which is normal and natural. And if we don't cognitively intervene, we'll just get stuck in that negativity loop, because that's what we're designed to do. So you can, in fact, let go of that negative thinking and focus on the things that are going right. Because if you really consider your position in the world, I mean, you have the technology to be watching me live right now, and you're safe enough in your home environment or wherever you are, right? Like no bombs are going off anywhere. So you already have more than probably 50% of other humans in the world. And so sometimes it's hard to remember that. And it's easy to get caught up in the things that haven't gone right or aren't going right. And, if we just pause and examine life, we can see actually a lot of things are going right. And so that's really kind of the challenge today. My challenge for you is, can you, instead of focusing on all of the things that are wrong in your life, can you take a moment to see what it is you're grateful for? So it's like we're around the Thanksgiving table today, and I'd encourage you, go ahead and, if you think of something, it's one of the things that can help to solidify your thoughts. And I remember this doing the Search Inside Yourself teacher training, is to solidify your thoughts. Sometimes one of the best things you can do is actually write it down. So feel free to write it to yourself, something you're thankful for, or write it in the chat and let us know what are you thankful for, and see if that can help to shift your perspective. And I'll let you know what I'm thankful for. Yesterday I was having a conversation with a friend who's having difficulty in their relationship, and I think that their marriage is probably going to dissolve. And of course, so that I can be thankful for the stability of my relationship, which hasn't always been stable. But something that they said to me was that they saw me and my family, and at a particular occasion, maybe at when I was, a couple of different occasions, and they just said that each time that I looked at your family, I was jealous that my family wasn't the same, that my family wasn't as happy and able to do the things together that your family's doing. And what was really funny in that moment, and so first I almost felt a kind of guilt to hear that my family was envied. And I think part of the guilt around it too was that, I don't see it, probably because I'm not looking for it. My family just feels like normal, right? Because that's kind of what we do, right? We see ourselves and we see the things that we do as normal. And I guess or we normalize it because it's us. And I mean, and granted that of course there are things that can be really difficult for us and that we don't see ourselves as normal for, but that it's this kind of, the typical reaction is to kind of assume everybody's life is like my life. And that kind of helped remind me and bring that to my attention. Hey, things in your life, Ryan, are good, right? Yeah, nothing's perfect. There are certainly times and situations with my partner and my children that don't go wonderfully, but wow, there are so many things that are wonderful about my relationship and about my family and my kids. And so that's something that I am really grateful for. And as today's Thanksgiving, I'm like, wow, this is great. I have I have something to talk about when we go around the dinner table, And I think it's kind of cliche. I find a lot of people go, oh, I'm so thankful for my family. And so, I'm really thankful for my family. Not to say it in a cliche way at all. That I've kind of, because of yesterday, brought some new awareness to, what a wonderful little family unit I have. And, and this reminds me of our friend Dirk, who often would, one of the things, I'm thankful for my friendship with Dirk, even though Dirk's gone. And he would always remind me of my, he would always remind me to take care of myself, right? Like, hey, you need to be there for your wife and kids. So take good care of yourself. Take a day off. He would often encourage me to take a day off of my live events to take care of myself, and I always appreciated that. Okay, this is great. If you have, I'm going to look at the chat after our meditation. So, keep it rolling in. Like, if you have something that you're thankful for, please feel free to write it in the chat during our meditation even, and I'll talk through those when we're finished. So let's go ahead and get into our meditation practice. Get comfortable. So sitting up straight, allowing the eyes to close if you like. And so becoming aware of this body sitting here. Noticing the feet, the ankles, the calves, the shins, the knees, the thighs, the pelvis, the lower back, mid-back, upper back, abdomen moving as you breathe, chest, hands, wrists, forearms, elbows, upper arms, shoulders, neck, the face. Knowing that your face doesn't need to get involved in sitting here that you can let your face relax. So noticing the jaw, the teeth, the tongue, the gums, the lips, the cheeks, the ears, the nose and the nostrils, feeling air moving through the nostrils as you breathe. The eyes, the eyebrows, the forehead, the crown of the head and the scalp, the back of the head. And so dilating that lens of awareness, expanding so that we can become aware of the entire body as a whole. Sitting here. Breathing. So as long as you are alive, you will be breathing. And so, as long as you are breathing, there's more right with you than wrong with you. And your body is a miracle, the way that everything works together. I mean, your liver is functioning, your kidneys are functioning, your lungs are functioning, your stomach and your digestive system is functioning, your heart's working, your brain is coordinating it all. No matter what the situation of your life might be right now, you are alive. This machine of your body is somehow in enough balance. Your immune system is working. Your body's in enough balance that you are alive. So no matter what your opinion is about your body or your situation, rest assured that there is more right with you than wrong with you. And that, if nothing else, is something to be grateful for. So see if you can focus your attention on your breath. The feeling of the breath at the abdomen, or at the chest, or at the nostrils. Just choosing a point where you can focus on your breath. Or you can observe your breath as a system coming into the body and going out of the body, and just feeling each part of the breath. So I'll just allow you to take a few moments to find out where you feel the breath most prominently, where it's most obvious to you. And then see if you can allow your attention to rest at that point. Expansion as you breathe in. contraction as you breathe out. And so maybe through focusing on the breath and the body and noticing that we're breathing, we may have been able to shift a little bit more towards gratitude. Gratitude for this body, its aliveness in this moment. And I'll invite you to shift your attention as well to other things that you're grateful for. and to allow yourself to dwell on that. Is there anything else? Anything else that you're grateful for? Just let your mind wander through it. See what shows up. You may be surprised at the things that come up for you. And now let's draw our practice to its close. I'll close practice with 3 rings of the bell. So after you hear the sound of the bell subside, feel free to start to transition out of your period of practice and into the period of the rest of your life. Okay, thank you for practicing with me. Thanks for being here with each other as well. I'm grateful for you, my Insight Timer community. It's really great to be able to share this practice with you at least twice a week. So how'd it go? How was your practice today? What are you grateful for? Feel free to write in the chat. What is it that, feel free to name a few things that you might be grateful for. And I'm going to go ahead and start to look at that. So Shoke says, a happy daughter. Thanks. Thanks, Shoke, for sharing. Siffy says, I have truly learned from being grateful is be grateful for all you have done so far, as well as it has taught me to write each and every time I have something to be grateful for. And I'm also grateful that I still have a blessed life filled with so much joy and happiness. Thanks, Siffy, for sharing. I'm thankful. Sybil says, I'm thankful that my husband and I love and care for each other enough to navigate the difficult times. Thanks, Sybil, for sharing. And yeah, and that's resonant with me as well, It certainly takes a lot of effort and work to manage through the difficult times in our relationships. And Sippy says, and I have let go of all that I cannot control and focus on what I can control. Thanks, Siffy, for sharing. That's a great lesson to be able to let go of the things that we don't have control of. And I think that can be really hard, that we want to kind of hold on to everything. And that is a way to reduce your own suffering. Let go of the things you can't control. Thanks, Siffy. Jean says, as part of my graduate practice, I offer this land acknowledgement from the ancestral tribes of the Odawa, Ojibwe, and Potawatomi nations, in recognition of the harm that patriarchal, misogynistic, white supremacy, capitalist colonialism, and imperialism has inflicted on indigenous people and species here and across the globe. Thanks, Jean, for sharing. I hope I've pronounced all of those all of those nations correctly. Shoke says, it's funny how American people pronounce Dirk. In the Netherlands and Belgium, we pronounce the I like you do in the word it or this. I don't know how. Let's see. So what would that sound like? Dirk? Probably like that, right? Dirk? I don't know. Yeah, it's just the... Okay. Yeah, I have a friend of mine. That sounds also like... yeah, a good friend of mine's... I mean, not that Sweden and Netherlands and Denmark and Belgium, not that these all have exactly similar pronunciations, but that's what I just kind of imagined, like, how my Swedish friend would pronounce that. And I think that sounds about right. Hi, Raymond. If you're still here, it's great to have you here today. Hope you're having a lovely day. Thanks, Magdalena. Sybil says, I'm grateful for my best friend, and I'm grateful that I discovered Insight Timer. Oh, me too. I'm grateful. I found Insight Timer because when I first started meditating, my teacher just told me, like, here's a timer app, right? I didn't know that there was anything more to it, that it was just like a little meditation bowl, just use it to make a bowl chiming sound that was kind of like more interesting than using a timer, because it also kind of kept track of my time, and it was I guess I found that encouraging, right? There's there's a way to track how many minutes, and then I can look back and see how much meditation I've done. It's interesting too now. Insight Timer, it tells me every time I finish a meditation, like how many minutes I've meditated on Insight Timer for the time I've been a member, and that's good to see. I'll celebrate. Let's see. Once I get to like the I've meditated more than 10,000 hours in my lifetime, but obviously a lot of that wasn't recorded on Insight Timer. So when I get to that 10,000 hour mark on Insight Timer, I'll let you know, and we'll I'm happy. I'm gonna celebrate it, and then maybe you can talk to me about how often you meditate and all of that. Jean says, I'm grateful for Insight Timer. It's become such an important part of my life. Thanks, Jean, for sharing. All right, well, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Even if it's not yet Thursday there, and if you're in America, it's definitely not Thursday there yet, but it's Thursday here. So, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Remember to take some time to intentionally reflect on the things you're grateful for. Cece says, I'm grateful my daughter has a good boyfriend to spend Thanksgiving with. I'm grateful my sons are coming here for Thanksgiving. Thanks for sharing. All right, let's send our well wishes out and close our practice the way that we do. May I be happy and peaceful. May everyone watching, listening, wherever you are, wish you all happiness and peace. And may all sentient life around the universe, everywhere, be happy and peaceful. Thanks, everyone. I'm grateful for you. See you next time. Bye-bye.